Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm doing a preview of Chronicles of Drunagor Aftermath, a new start with some rules changes for the fantasy campaign Drunagor games overall. And as always, I take no money from publishers to do these previews. I just want to show how the game plays and let you make an informed decision. And if you like the content on the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos every month you can't see anywhere else. You can also listen to our weekly podcast for reviews and design discussions, or join the conversation and say hi on our Discord. So the prototype they sent me has both some adventures for the campaign mode and also one of the new one-off adventures that they've made for this one. I think the original Drunagor, which by the way I have never played, so this is my first Drunagor experience, just to put that out there because I can't make a ton of comparisons to the old one since I don't know that system super well. But I think the original game would let you play campaign missions in one-off mode, but in this release they actually have separate one-off missions that are just for that new mode and some different rules for it. I got a chance to play that with one of the people working on the game, as well as Jeremy Howard from Man vs. Meeple, so I will be able to talk about the one-off mode at the end of the video with my impressions. But for here, I thought I'd show the more traditional thing and walk you through the beginning of the campaign. I am going to be dual-handing two of the three new characters they sent me. I've got Hakim, who is a knight, and Penelope, who is an oracle with some prediction kind of stuff going on. And this is the initial map, although I haven't spawned anybody yet. But let me show you my characters, and we'll walk through what's going on with them. So here's Hakim, and I should say that everything here is very much a prototype. Even though they did the original Drunagor games, a lot of things have changed. So like all these cards are just hand-printed and sleeved, for example. And also, they didn't send me a full rule book for this version, just a sort of learn to play, which actually left out a lot of details. So I had to go back to the original Drunagor rulebook and sort of cross-reference things, so I think I'm playing correctly, but we'll see how it goes. So each character has 5 action cubes to start out, and this is just like the original Drunagor, but I haven't played that, and some of you might have never seen it before, so I'll talk through things like you don't know about them. They've got a health track at the top here. Usually they would start with their max and starting health being the shaded in value, but Hakim's defender role, we'll get to that in a second, is making his max hit points 4 higher, so he's at 16 instead of 12. And then each character has 8 hero skills, 2 for each color, although one of them is an ongoing power, in this case persistence, which will let Hakim get shields whenever he gets hurt. They've also got equipment. Each of them starts out with armor and a weapon. The weapon gives you your basic attack stats. The armor has another spot to put cubes, because the cubes are actually going to go in these little action spots to fire things off. And based on the color of the cube, they'll give different ranges and things. Each character also has some focus abilities when they build up focus, which can come from some of their skills. And also each character picks, and again, this was in the original Drunagor, a role that will give them some more skills. In this case, I've picked Hakim to be the defender role, which means he's going to be super tanky, and that gives him an ongoing ability, again, in this case, plus 4 max health, and he also has some other skills he can use. And some skills are locked to a specific cube color, so I can only use red for battle focus, for example. Some are wild for anything, so I can use any cube to defend with my breastplate, and some are more limited, like charge over here, which is yellow or red. I'm not going to go through all his skills right now. I'll explain them as I use them, but that's the basics for Hakim. And here's Penelope, the elf oracle. Now their card says we're supposed to have 2 yellow melee cubes, just like Hakim. But considering they've got a ranged weapon and only a single yellow skill and a bunch of red skills, I think that's probably a misprint. So I've given them 2 red cubes. If I'm wrong about that, whatever. But Penelope has a special ability to gain premonition dice. Basically, she's going to roll a d20, and it hangs out. That's not a very good roll, but it hangs out on her board, and once per turn, when she would roll a die, she can just use the die she already rolled. Now, if it's terrible like that one, she's probably not going to want to use it. Oh, I guess, is this like a spot to... Oh, it is a little spot to hold the die. How nice is that? Hakim also has a new mechanic that's just for him. That's the case for all the new characters they sent me. In this case, he has the Defy token, which some of his abilities can give him, and that makes him the primary target of any enemies that can reach him, so he can, again, really tank super well. Now, you'll see there are tons of spots for more level ups and things. We're going to get into a little bit of those, but you're not going to see too much yet. But yeah, over here on the left, you get more hero skills keyed to the different colors, red, yellow, blue, and green. Those are unique to your character. So like here, Hakim could get red, the range skill, and get a raised shield defense that he could use on himself or somebody else. Or if he got blue, he'd get an ongoing thing that lets him use shields as focus. And then they also get these paths that give them ongoing bonuses, and they can level them up to kind of crazy stuff. You'll see a bit of that in this playthrough, but not a ton. We've also got this long initiative track. We're going to, when we activate each round, do the top row of the initiative and then the bottom row from left to right. Hakim is in this spot because he has the defender role, so your role determines your initiative, so he's always going to go first each round, whereas Penelope, who's a striker, an attack-focused role, is going to go near the end of each round because you'll see that it points downwards. Again, top row, then bottom row activates. And I think that's about it for the basics, so let's read some flavor text, spawn some enemies, and go through the actual motions of mechanics for the game. All right, here's some nice grayscale printed flavor text. The road so far. The crow of a rooster and the morning bustle of the inn stir you awake in Nira. A peaceful dawn like this wasn't always guaranteed. When the undead king brought the darkness, many fell, but those who could fight survived and even prospered. 3 years later, the scars of those battles still sting in the cold morning air. After the enemy's fall, you cross paths with others who shared your hunger for the clash of steel. What began as chance encounters grew into a band of mercenaries, free adventurers earning their keep, one contract at a time. In time, your group was granted the Dragon's Tavern as a base of operations, along with the title of Knights of Amira, a modest reward considering it came from what was once a vast and powerful empire. When peace finally seemed within reach, the truth came to light. The undead king had been nothing more than a pawn, sent ahead to prepare the way for a far greater threat. The horsemen of the apocalypse, geez. They spread death and ruin across the land, yet just as sudden as it began, it ended. The monsters that plagued the continent withered away, and the shadow of the apocalypse faded without warning. Oh, I'm dumb. I just realized that the original Chronicles of Drunagor was the darkness, and then the expansion campaign was Apocalypse. That makes sense. Across the continent, rulers now gather in the ruins of Valorai, searching for answers to the devastation that has befallen them. Meanwhile, in the capital of the newly formed Kingdom of Amira, the royal line is fractured and refugees crowd the streets in search of safety. With the city guards stretched thin and short on resources, mercenaries are in high demand. Amid it all, Yerrick of Grimbo, a royal mage, approaches you with an offer. A simple contract: recover his ark, left behind during the evacuation of the Deadlands, the name given to the provinces consumed by the darkness. It's a job that calls for discretion and promises a generous reward. Adventure 1. There and back again. During your journey through the Deadlands, you encounter little more than scattered groups of monsters wandering without purpose. The ruins of Grimbo, however, are alive with creatures of darkness at every turn. Unlike the aimless stragglers before, these move with speed and purpose, like a swarm set to work. In the distance, the silhouette of Yerrick's workshop rises above the horde. Reaching it means passing straight through their nest. All right, and here's how I spawn the thing. You can see the door that'll show more stuff. And for spawning, I've got G1, G2, G3, G4, W5. The G and W correspond to different types of enemies, gray and white. And the numbers correspond to the number of heroes in the game. So here, I'm just going to spawn the G1 and the G2. They'll both be the same type of enemy since they're spawning at the same time. The prototype they sent has 2 gray enemies, so I'm going to randomize which one it is. Except I do have an objective: explore each room until you find and fulfill the adventure end trigger. And the rest of his stuff is pretty much just setup. Although it does tell me to place this first steps card in the rune spot, which will basically trigger at the end of the round. This is going to flip, and it says, inhuman grunts and roars reverberate from around the corner. These creatures are not alone. You'd better hurry. Great, so we're probably going to spawn some more people at the end of the round, so it goes. But let's shuffle my gray options, and I end up with, what is this? Oh no, I gotta be on the rookie side. 2 butchers. Yeah, rookie is their strength level. They can flip over to be stronger, but all the ones in this mission are rookie. We've got their initiative on the left, which says it's green and down. That's in the upper left near their name. So that shows they're gonna be on the bottom row in green. So they'll be after Hakim, before Penelope. That's gonna be the case for pretty much everybody. They are immune to knockdown and whatever that red one is. I don't think that's gonna come up. So it should be fine. They sent me a rule book, but it's not printed, and also it didn't have like all the icons unless I went into the glossary. So hopefully I remember what these different status effects mean. Each of the butchers has 15 health. That's the number on the right. Their targeting and range is clarified by that row with the yellow icon. So yellow means melee. They can only attack somebody adjacent to them. And they try to attack up to 2 targets, preferring the strongest if there are more than 2 to choose from. That means whoever has the most hit points. But their first priority will be to try to hit both of us if we are close enough that they can get an attack on both. And then on the bottom left is their movement, the little boot. That is a 4. Bottom right is their attack value. They will do a 4 damage to us. We can try to prevent. And then finally, at the very bottom, where it has a heart, that means that if any of their 4 damage gets through our defenses, they will inflict the brittle status effect, which means the next time that character suffers health damage from any effect, it will be doubled. What lovely little guys they are. So they're going green bottom. So again, they're going to go before Penelope. And I'm giving each of them a different base color. They did send minis, but I always prefer standees if I can use them. All right, so gray 1 will go there. Gray 2 will go there by the door. And I'm marking their 15 life for each of them. And if we get any status effects, we would put them here. So that's how we keep track of who is doing how well. And remember their core stats, they can move up to 4 times. Movement is diagonal or orthogonal. We do have elevation, which is used more in this one, as far as I understand, than the original Drunagor. So this is on top of a little tray here. So it is just 1 level up, which isn't going to matter much because you can move up or down 1 level without spending any extra movement points. But if you are attacking someone who is 1 level lower than you, you get +2 to your hit value, and vice versa. If you're attacking somebody higher than you get -2 to your hit value. But I mean, the key thing here is that we want to make sure that we are not within 1 of each other. Like if we're like that, because then they'll just run right in between us and get a lot more damage going on. All right, but Hakim is first, because the special initiative coin they sent me is on top of him. So on a hero's turn, they can move up to 3 spaces. They can take 1 minor action. Some of your hero skills might be minor actions, but more commonly it is used to flip your weapon. So all the weapons in this game, I don't think this was in the original Drunagor, have the versatile trait, which means for a minor action, you can flip them to a side that hits less often on a 12 plus on a d20 instead of a 7 plus, but also does more damage, a 6 instead of a 4. I'm going to stay on the easier to hit side for now, I think. So you can move up to 3, you can take a minor action. The minor action can interrupt the movement, so I could like move 1 of my 3, open up a treasure chest with a minor action, and then move 2 more. But then I also get 2 cube actions, which cannot interrupt the movement, and they end the movement. Like if I've spent 1 movement point and then I attack, the other 2 movement points go away. And the cube actions, as you can imagine, are to use different abilities. So I could do that to use my Knight Stance, or this to use my Disarming Strike. And the cube colors define the range of an ability, unless the ability says otherwise. Yellow is melee, so you have to be adjacent to the figure, orthogonally or diagonally. Red is area-based. You'll see here that each group of 4 squares is in a little defined area. So ranged attacks that use red can shoot into any of the areas that are adjacent to you, whereas a melee attack, I have to actually be within 1 square of them. And then finally, blue and green cubes, generally speaking, have infinite range if the ability lets you do something for somebody else or for an enemy. All right, so I've got a fun idea for this. Let's go ahead and use... Do I want to use my red or my yellow? I want to save yellows for more melee attacks. So I'm going to use my 1 red to trigger my charge. We'll zoom in on these as I use them. So charge says move 3 self. So I'm moving myself. You got to kind of get used to how they parse out the abilities. They really lay it out in a pretty straightforward way. So I move 3 self. I can move up to 3. Then I attack 1 target with +0 to hit, and I get +2 to hit per unused movement point from the skill. So if I only move 1, I would get +4 to hit. If I move 2, I would get +2 to hit. And I could have used it as a red or a yellow. Because I'm using it as a yellow, it is a ranged attack when I do that hit at the end. So I can't be right next to them. Sorry, I forgot to say that. For red attacks, not only can you attack 1 area away, but you cannot be adjacent to any enemy, the target or somebody else. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and I'm going to stop there so I get +2 to hit against the yellow guy here because he is in a different area, and I'm not adjacent to him, which would have made me engaged with him. So I have 1 movement point unused, so I have +2 to hit. And my longsword is currently on this side, which means that I need a 7+ to hit, and if I hit, I will deal 4 damage. So with my +2 to hit, I need a 5. All right, I got a 10. Easy enough. If I got, I guess this is it, a 1, that's a critical failure. You miss no matter what. Is the 20 also special? No, it's just a 20. If you get a 20, you deal double damage after all modifiers. That's called a crit. So yellow goes down 4 to 11. So that was my first cube action. Remember, I still have my regular move, which I didn't use yet. And I have a second cube action, and I have a minor action. So let's use all of those. I'm going to use my regular move, 1, 2, 3, to get right in a scrum with these guys, because I'm about to use Arcing Swing, which attacks 2 targets with 1 attack. And Arcing Swing has +3 to hit, so let's use our minor action, zoop, and flip over to our 12+ hit longsword side, but it does 6 damage if I hit. And then I will use Arcing Swing. Sorry, I can't zoom in on that because it's on the entire board, but it says attack 2 targets with +3 to hit. Because it's melee, I have to be within 1 square of each of them, which I am. And when you do multi-hit attacks like this, you roll the die 1. So I have +3 to hit. My new side of my longsword requires a 12+ normally, so I need a 9+. So slightly better than 50% chance, but I'll do a lot if I do it. Hey, awesome. Because Hakeem has 0 mitigation at the moment. You can get skills and things that give you rerolls, and Penelope has a bunch of them, but Hakeem is kind of all or nothing. So that was risky, but it paid off. So that's a 5 and a 9. They are nearly done. Let's see if Penelope can play cleanup. So that is it for Hakeem's turn. He did his 2 cube actions. He moved, and he did a minor action. But let's talk for a moment how these cubes come back. So there are 2 ways to recover your cubes. The first one is if you use all of your cubes. So let's say like I use this, and this, that's not right, and this, and this. Then the second I have no cubes back, I get a free recovery. All my cubes come back, but I have to put down a black curse cube on either my roll cards or on my hero skills. I can't put it on my items. Those are not available. And that will lock out the ongoing ability or the ability to do that. Although you can use what's called cleanse, which a lot of abilities have, like battle focus here. 1 cleanse will get rid of 1 curse cube. If you get 6 curse cubes, your character is defeated and all the players lose. So you don't want to do that. Now, the other way to recover is if I have only 2 or 1 color of cubes left, like here I would have only a yellow and a green. You can choose to take what's called a willing recover, and again, get all your cubes back, again, put the curse down. The only difference with that one is it ends your turn, so you really don't want to do it unless you've already used your actions and done what stuff you're going to try to do. But for now, I've got 3 cubes, so I can't do either of those. We'll see how things go. All right, so we do the entire top row. Nobody's there. We get to the butchers. So they want to target the 2 targets. They want to target the strongest target if they can reach more than 1 option. In this case, Hakeem, he's got 16 life. Penelope's only got 10. They can move up to 4, and they attack at 1 range, melee, and they deal 4 damage. And they progress down the health track in color order, so yellow goes before blue, goes before pink, etc. So this guy could, 1, 2, 3, reach Penelope, but he doesn't want to because he's already next to the strongest target. Now, he would prefer to hit 2 of us, but I didn't give him the chance, so he's stuck just attacking Hakeem. And there is no rolling for enemy attacks. They just hit automatically, so 4 damage is coming at Hakeem from yellow. And if any of it gets through, again, that's what that little heart next to the brittle at the bottom means, then he will gain the brittle statistic, which again will double damage coming at him later. But we got a lot of ways to deal with attacks. What we're looking for are these little symbols. Next to the phrase, take the hit, you'll see like, what is that? Like a circle with a slice through it? I don't know what it's supposed to be. In the original, I think it was lightning bolts, which seemed a little bit more obviously reactions to me, but hey, whatever. And a lot of these will let you prevent some of the damage. So in this case, my brass breastplate says, take the hit, prevent for self. So I'm about to get hit. I can use any cube to block, and I will totally prevent the damage in this case because he's only attacking for 4. Another one is intervention. I can move 2 and then prevent 2 to 1 target adjacent to you. So this is usually when I want to run up and help protect somebody else. Because each time there is a threat, each time somebody gets attacked, each character can respond to it with a single cube action or minor reaction or whatever. But you know what? I think I'm doing this right. I think Penelope can do something a little bit nastier. Because look, she's got Explore the Breach. It says attack the aggressor with +0 to hit as a reaction. And it's any cube. So if I use a green or a blue, I think that I get to do infinite range because the cube determines the range unless it's something like your focus abilities here. Because Penelope is definitely not within 1 area of yellow, but I think I'm playing that right. So she's going to attack, and reactions technically happen before the attack resolves. So I think if she hits this guy with her 6 damage when he only has 5 life left, she'll just kill him and take away the need to defend at all. But she does need a 12+, and she gets no bone. Actually, she's at -2. Shoot, I just realized because she's down a level. But whatever, it's fun. If I get a 14+, I can whoop and holler. That was a 19. That was kind of cocked though, so let's re-roll it. Hey, okay, we'll take that one. Another hit. See, I might be misunderstanding the rules, but I believe yellow gets defeated before they ever get a chance to do anything. Now, if this was the one-shot mode, we would get experience and we like level up as we kill enemies, which is super cool. Here, you only really level up like at the end of the scenario, so we're not going to do anything else. Okay, then blue. Lulu is doing the exact same thing, attacking for 4. And this time, Hakeem will take care of himself. Let's use the green cube to prevent 4. No damage gets through, so I'm not brittle. And that's it. Generally speaking, enemies just move and attack. So let's get to Penelope. And at the beginning of Penelope's turn, she gets to roll a premonition die for herself. And yeah, I was going to say I used up all my luck. So she has a 5 that she can replace for another roll. Don't think I'll need to do that, but there it is. All right, so let's go 1, 2, 3. She gets within range of that guy. Although now he could attack both of us, but what are the chances Penelope or Hakeem doesn't kill him? I think those are pretty low. So she still has a minor action and both cube actions. For her minor action, now that she didn't roll well for her premonition die, let's flip back to the side that's easier to hit. Then for her first cube action, I'm going to use Twin Strike. This is the bread and butter of the striker roll. It lets you do a twin strike, so with either ranged or melee, yellow or red, attack one target twice with only 0 to hit each time. But still 2 attacks at the price of 1 is nothing to sneeze at. So she needs a 7+ to hit. If she hits twice, the guy... Oh, he's not dead, is he? He has 9 life left. Okay, so he'll be close to dead. If she only hits once, he will be less close. So that's a hit. Yay. And number 2 is a critical failure, but... Striker is kind of awesome. It says Weapon Mastery. Once per round, you can reroll a d20 if you don't like the result. I don't like that result. How did they know? So we get a 19. I'm rolling 19 a lot. So again, that brings him down to 1. Should I try to defeat him? Is there anything else I can do? Well, sure. We can do Threatening Arrow. Attack one target with +2 to hit. And then if I deal damage, I get Intimidate 2, which means the next time they attack, they would deal 2 less damage. I mean, this guy's going to be dead. But that still seems pretty good. So sure, let's do that. And you know what? Let's go ahead and use it, because with +2 to hit, a 5 becomes a 7, and that's a hit, not even taking a chance of missing. So boom! That was great. We wiped those guys out. And here's one of those, I don't know how the rules work at all. Do I take this card away now that they're both dead and spawn a different gray enemy next time? The rules they sent me don't say. I'm going to say yes, because variety is fun. But that's the end of Penelope's turn. So it says flip this card. Okay, it says open the next door. Reminder, as a rule, heroes should be adjacent to doors to open them. Direct instructions like this, however, open doors in a special way, ignoring this positioning restriction. All right, so I'm opening next door. So I think this has been a thing for Drunagor for a while, where like the doors themselves unfold, or maybe it was a QR code. I don't know. But this is pretty fun that you actually, like the door is this like little fold out thing. Start with the flavor text. The Haunted Courtyard. The first wave of monsters falls. Proof of the skills that earned you the contract. Well, how do they know they fell? I mean, they did fall, but what if they hadn't? New surprises await around the corner as the monsters gather in numbers, standing guard in a way their empty minds should not allow. Or at least it should be. What? Okay, prototype. I don't know what they were trying to say there. In any case, you are on the right track, and these creatures will not stop you now. All right, so I'm putting out a ton of stuff. Let me get this all set up. Okay, so I think I did this right, because they like have little platforms within things. You can see the elevation changes. There's even like a little bridge over here. So fun stuff with 3D terrain and elevation levels. We've got a crate we can throw them over here. Treasure chest we can open or also throw at them over there. And I'm about to spawn 3 enemies, 1 white, 1 black, 1 gray. First, a new gray enemy, because I did change it out, is a Dark Satyr. Ooh, they are faster, a blue at the top, but in this case, it's still slower than Hakeem. They're immune to brittle and knockdown, also 15 life. They only attack a single target. They still move 4, but they hit for 6 instead of 4. And if any gets through, they intimidate 4, which remember is going to weaken your next attack. More white little range dude is a javelin thrower. They are immune to something, for sure. And they are a little bit slower than the Dark Satyr, top gray or black, whatever that is. They can only move 3. They have a ranged attack, and they attack the most tired, which means that whichever person has the fewest cubes on their board, I believe. And if it's tied, they attack the next one in initiative order. That's how they always do it. Oh man, 6 damage, 3 range. Oh, and if any damage gets through, they bleed you 2. Bleed means at the end of your next turn, you take that much damage and then the tokens go away, although you can use Cleanse to get rid of all of a single type of status effect. So all of the bleeds would go away with a single Cleanse. Then finally, Queen Web, whoa, 18 life. And she's immune to a whole bunch of stuff I can't do. Oh, including stealth. I know that's the bottom one. Oh, she's very slow, though. Bottom red means she's even after Penelope. She only moves 2. She attacks 1 area adjacent to her, the entire area. Oh, I think she's a large creature, which means she takes up the entire spot. That's crazy. So she could hit both of us if we're both in the same area. She attacks for 9. And if any damage gets through, you get poisoned, which also does 2 damage at the end of your turn. Can also be healed with Cleanse, but does not go away. It'll keep on hitting you for 2 every turn until you cleanse yourself, whereas, again, the bleed is a single-time thing. And here's where all the enemies ended up. Gotta say, I'm a fan of this placement. Let's put your ranged attacker right in front of us for murdering, and the nasty people pretty far back, although with Queen Web, I just realized moving 2 areas each round, since she's large and not just 2 squares, she's gonna catch up to us pretty quickly. The game also told me to draw 30 darkness tokens from the darkness bag, which has colors for each of these enemy types, leaving 6 inside the bag. Now, as far as I understand it, in the original Age of Darkness campaigns, you would have like shapes on the back, and you would sort of polyomino style, like add darkness tiles onto the map as you drew these things, and they were like the main timer for the game. Here, it's a little different. I only have 6, although it does sound from the door's text like it's going to be another timer. You see, look, it says, replace the first steps game mechanic, there's a second section down, with the, end of the round card, face A up. Maybe that will tell me to get rid of the tokens. Then it says, new defeat condition. A third defeat condition is in effect. When the party is unable to draw a rune, then they lose. There's 6 runes in the bag, enough for 5 more rounds. And scene trigger, when the last monster on the board dies, read scene, and then there was a door in chapter there and back again of the adventure book. Okay, so just kill some people. Let's go. Okay, yeah, it looks like at least on the A side, I draw 1 rune from the bag. And then if there are no more living monsters, I would be able to open a door. If that's clearly not going to apply for this scenario. But that ain't happening yet. It's back to Hakim time. Now, unfortunately, 1, 2, 3, shoot. Can't get into melee range of this guy. Well, there is a way I can. I got to think if I want to do it. I can also just check my handwritten notes for the terrain tiles. As a minor action, if I'm adjacent to the crate, I can throw it at somebody in range 1 and inflict brittle on them, which actually sounds friggin' great for Queen Web with her 18 life. Let's bring her over here and then brittle her to death. Yeah, don't you worry, Hakim's got a plan. So I'm going to move my regular 3. Then instead of using your 2 cube actions in a turn, you can use one of your cube actions to get you another minor action or another movement of 3. I don't think you actually use the cubes. I don't think it speeds up you having to rest. Pretty sure. So yeah, let's go 1. Now, crud, is the dang... Yeah, the spider's going to be able to go there and then there, because diagonal movement with area movement is crazy, and she'll be able to attack me for 9. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I should make the javelin guy come to me. That sounds like quitter talk. In fact, let's go 1, 2, 3, and be closer to the treasure chest. Or even what the hey, we'll just be here. Okay, Hakim is... I think I want to do my disarming strike, which gets +2 to hit and will intimidate 2 if it gets them. Let's use my minor action to flip my longsword back to its easier to hit side and do a disarming strike. So again, I'm getting +2 to hit, so I need a 5 or more. And if I hit, I intimidate 2, so they'll deal 2 less damage on their next attack. That's a hit. So javelin throwers down to 8. And I think this is intimidate. Oh, which would mean the dark side. No, actually, none of them are immune to it, but I think the other guy was immune. The other gray monster. All right, cool. Okay, next is the Dark Satyr. It's going to be a little while. So they can move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're not going to get into the fight for a bit. Next is the Javelin Thrower. And they... Oh, wait. This is going to matter in a second, but obviously I want to go ahead and rest at the end of Hakim's turn. I am resting early since I had 2 or fewer colors, in this case just a blue cube, but he does get a black cube. What do I want to cover up? I haven't really looked at all my skills, but this one gives me some shields to block damage and also makes 2 people next to me hit for less. This is their focus and cleanse one to build up to, if they can get 2 focus, they can parry in an awesome way. If they can get 3 focus, they can do an awesome attack. This one lets them heal a bunch, provoke, and it says heal with reinforce, which means it can get me shields to block damage if I overheal. So like if I use it right now, I would get 4 shields. Challenge does 1 damage to a target and intimidates 4. I think that's the winner. I can always cleanse away that curse cube, but I don't think I need to use that. Okay, now, like I said, this did matter because the javelin thrower wants to attack the most tired target, which is suddenly Penelope. But can they get into range? They can move up to 3. So 1, 2, 3. Nope, they would not be in range. So instead, they're still going to attack Hakim. And they need to get not adjacent to him. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. You can't stand on that 3. Or 1, 2, 3 would give them a bonus. I think the rules said, or at least how they explained it in the TTS play, that as long as they're moving as little as possible, you can choose which way they go. Oh, and actually, never mind. This is literally their only option that only loses 2 movement. Whereas to get there would be 3, 1, 2, 3. That would be 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so this is the only option for them. But it's also good for us because they're going to be -2. Oh, no, wait, they're not -2 to hit. They don't care. But we're +2 to hit. That part at least matters. The enemy is always hit no matter what. So this guy's attacking for 6, but because of his intimidate, he attacks for only 4, but then the token goes away. And Hakim laughs at 4 damage attacks. Ha 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 ha. I don't know if he actually does. But here, let's use my green to take the hit. I also have, where is it? Unwavering Stance. Oh, they forgot to mark that with the reaction symbol. But yeah, that one's prevent 2 plus 2 for each monster next to you. So if I really get surrounded, I could potentially prevent like 6 or 8. And I think that's it for his defensive reactions, yeah. So he's definitely going to be in some trouble in a moment when the spider comes over and attacks him. But that is not happening yet because Penelope is first. And Penelope, roll your prediction die. That's a nice roll. Now we can guarantee a 6 damage hit. I love that. Although, crud, I don't have any attacks, do I? No, I don't. Remove curse doesn't do anything. Appeal is a defense thing. This one moves 3. Oh, and recall 1. What does that mean? I'm guessing, I tried to write down all this stuff from the rulebook, but I didn't. I'm guessing it lets you pull a cube back? That sounds like it probably would do that. Let's assume it does, and then I'll get to attack this guy. So, sure, I might be making this up, but I'm going to move 3 self and then recall 1 from a target at any range. Let's recall my twin strike is what I want, right? So she's attacking. Oh, she's going to now for her second cube. Go ahead and do a twin strike on him. And I could flip to my Ashwood staff to do more damage, especially since I have an automatic 15. But whatever. I mean, the 7 plus is going to, if I hit twice, do his 8 damage and kill him anyway. All right, so first attack is a 13. That's enough. And then for the second one, we'll just use my 15 premonition because it goes away anyway. And he be dead. I mean, he was not the scary one, but we can just try to focus fire on this spider. Then I still have 3 movement left. Now, I don't want to be in the same area as the spider. I do kind of want to... Spider's going to come there, right? Yeah, so I do want to be right here so I can throw the crate at her and make her brittle. Is she immune? Nope, she's not immune to brittle. Yeah, I'm going to try to do that on my next turn. But I will definitely have her pull back and rest early. She'll put a cube on... I mean, I've got Remove Curse to cleanse and also Battle Focus to cleanse. I don't think I need both of those. Let's lock that one up. Okay, now the scary part. Oh, the scary part. Yep, here she comes. So she can move 2. She wants to be within 1 area, so she could attack either of us, but her target is the strongest area, so she's attacking Hakeem for 9, and if she hits him, 2 poison. Ouch. All right, Hakeem's breastplate is already in use, so he'll go ahead and I think use his blue to do Unwavering Stance, which is going to be prevent 4 because the lady is adjacent to him. That's why I ended in the space I did. Penelope should be able to help out too, right? I don't want to attack the aggressor this time. She's 2 levels below, so she would never hit. So how about Appeal? Prevent 2 to 1 target. Oh, plus 2 for each hero adjacent. We're not doing that part. But that means that we prevented 6 out of 9. So Hakeem takes his first damage. He's down to 13, or I guess the first damage for any of us. But then his persistence ability says whenever you lose health points, shield yourself 1, so he'll be able to block 1 damage next time he gets attacked. But then also because damage got through, he is poisoned 2. And remember, that one is not going away until somebody cleanses him. So he's going to take 2 damage at the end of each of his turns, going through armor and everything. But if we can wipe out Queen Web, we'll be fine, right? Okay, end of the round. We are drawing 1 rune from the bag. Okay, it's a red. And these, I think, do go on the board because at least in the one-shot mode, the boss I played against was like doing extra special attacks and bonuses based on the number of those things. Okay, and then we flip the card. Oh, and we're going to draw 2 runes from the bag. So that'll leave with 3. Okay, so that's why they said it's 5 rounds total, because it'll take away 2. That'll leave 3 left. 1 and 2 again will leave 0 left. And then when I couldn't draw on the 5th round, we would lose. But we're going to do fine before that happens, because Hakeem is up. And does he care that he's poisoned? No, he does not. He laughs at poison. I don't know if he really laughs at poison. That seems pretty unhealthy, but he might laugh at it. And oh yeah, I know what he's going to do. It's going to make the Dark Satyr come and beat him up, but I think it's still going to be worth it. Hakeem is going to use his regular move. He'll go 1, 2, minor action to get the treasure chest, because remember, that doesn't take away your move. Ooh, although I forgot, I can throw the treasure chest at somebody in range 1 to stun them, which means they don't attack. How confident am I that Penelope is going to crate, brittle, murder the Queen Web? I'm kind of confident. No, I want the treasure, because I think you keep these if you don't use them. So these are single-use items. Actual upgrades to your weapons and armor come as quest rewards. Okay, this is Scroll of Warding. Use this scroll as an interrupt to prevent 10 to yourself. That's pretty good. This goes in my bag until I want to use it. All right, so he has one move left, which is important because to move up more than one level or down more than one level costs an extra point of movement. So we'll go here since we only have one movement left. But then, remember our old friend Charge? I'm doing a melee charge for my first cube action. So I get up to 3 movement, blink, I got 2 left, and then I get plus 2 to hit for each movement remaining, so that is plus 4 to hit, and I'm 1 level above, so plus 6 to hit. Man, I really wish that I'd flipped my longsword to its harder to hit side, because now I'm only missing on a 1, and I would have been really good over here doing more damage, but oh well. All right, so let's see if we get a 1. No, we don't. We didn't get a crit either, though, so that's 4 damage. So Madam Web is down to 14 because her movie wasn't very good. No, she's Queen Web, not Madam Web. I'm just hating on that movie, I guess. All right, Hakeem ain't done. Disarming Strike. Attack 1 target with plus 2 to hit, and I intimidate 2 if I hurt him. So plus 2 to hit, plus 4 from being above, so I need a 3 plus this time. Nice. Yeah, dang it, if I hadn't picked up that treasure chest, she'd be down to 6 life. But with Brittle and Penelope coming for her, I think we're going to totally kill her. But if not, Hakeem is totally intimidating her, just leering down at her like that. That didn't sound very nice. Why are you leering at her, Hakeem? But yes, so we'll be okay. And wait, that Dark Satyr is about to kick our butt, so let's definitely rest and get our stuff back. What are we going to cube this time? I could cube my sturdiness and curse it. It would lose me a single hit point. What else could I get rid of? Maybe, I don't know if I'm going to do... Well, you know what? Intervention. I don't think I need to prevent damage to somebody else. I'm doing a pretty good job of keeping Penelope out of their crosshairs. But yeah, here comes the Dark Satyr. Hello. He wants to attack the strongest, and that is me. And he's attacking me for 6 and intimidate 4. Ugh. Oh, wait. I just got back. Where is it? Where's the stupid thing that like blocks more? Oh, Unwavering Stance. Let's use my green since that is cursed its only thing. So now I prevent 2 plus 2 for each monster adjacent to me. There's a spider and there's a satyr. So that is 6. I don't even need to use my shield. Y'all suck. Oh, wait, but I did take 2 damage from the poison at the end of the turn. So that part's not as nice. All right, come on, Penelope. Throw that crate and have a date with the spider. I don't know what I was trying to do here, rhyme something, but we're going to kill him. So first I roll her prediction die. Ooh, it's good. Ooh, it's a 17. Oh, this is so good. Because I can guarantee a hit with my stronger side of my staff, except I'm going to use my minor action to throw the crate. Gosh, darn it. Should be fine. So yeah, for my minor action, I will throw the crate in range 1. So she is brittle for the next attack against her, or the next anything that deals damage. And then I got to move, so I'm not hitting so badly, I guess, here, because I can't attack her from melee. Well, actually, I guess I could, so sure, let's go here. I mean, yeah, I've got 2 options here. I could use Twin Strike. The first one would get doubled to do 8 damage, because I don't have a minor action, which would not kill her, and then I'd have to hit with the second one, uphill. I don't like that. You know what? I am going to give up a cube action to flip my staff, actually. But then I'll still use Twin Strike, I guess? Yeah, all right, I'll still use Twin Strike. I'm wasting 1 hit, because I'm going to just use this on the first hit, which hits even with the -2 for being uphill, and does 12 damage with the brittle, which means she's dead. Oh, this guy was also already dead. So just the Dark Satyr is left. And he's next to an angry Hakeem who has the high ground. Not a good idea, buddy. But first, we are drawn 2 more tokens. We got that in green. And we flip back. And yeah, we should be able to wrap things up, hopefully pretty quickly. I mean, the Dark Satyr does have 15 life, so he's not a chump. And sadly, Hakeem has no way to gain bonus damage. Well, he does have one way. He can minor action that over. And then we got it back. Let's use charge. And let's not move at all. Let's not move at all. So that is, what is that? +6, and I'm above him, +8, so I need a 4+ to hit. Here we go. Okay, that does it. So that takes the satyr down to 9. Then I think I'm going to use my other yellow for Disarming Strike, which will intimidate the guy and get +2 to hit, so +4 overall. So I just need an 8 to hit. Come on, Hakeem. Yes! Gets him to 3. Should be easy for Penelope to finish him off. And he's also double intimidated, which means he'll only be attacking for 4 instead of 6, which is pretty easy to block. And then, oh no, Hakeem has taken 2 damage, which means he's not the strongest, which means they're going to attack Penelope finally. Oh, did I want to move? Yeah, you know what? Sure. Because if somehow Penelope fails to defeat the guy, Hakeem can try to dash over and grab that treasure chest. But yeah, this might hurt. Hakeem doesn't have his intervention to run over and help Penelope. So this guy's going to move 1, 2, and attack for 6. -2 is 4 with the Intimidate. But actually, I don't even know what her defenses are. She hasn't had to use them at all. She could attack the guy. Oh, she could attack the guy. And again, at least with how I'm interpreting it, it immediately kills. So we'll use blue so it can hit anywhere, because red, he'd be right next to her and she couldn't use it. Now she does. Oh, she needs a 14 plus to hit. What's her other option? Leather armor. She could prevent 3 and move 2 with jump. Oh, that would jump lets you move past the enemies and let you go up the elevations faster, but that would let her get into a better place to hit. And she already used a peel. Yeah, let's take the safer option. I don't think I'm going to get lucky again. So I'll prevent 3 of the 4, so she takes 1 damage. Now, unfortunately, she does get 4 intimidation. But even if she misses with her first attack, that'll go away. And she also gets to move 2 with jump. So she will tumble up to here, which means she can go up there and use her ranged attacks and hopefully kill the guy. And yeah, no time like the present. Let's use our... Oh, yes! I love this prediction die, man. It's so great. And that's right, she has a reroll as well. Fantastic, fantastic. So yeah, let's get up here. So we have +2 to hit. And then we'll go and do Ray of Splendor for her first action. So first she heals to 1 target. I think it can be herself, even though it's a range cube, I think. And then she attacks the target with +2 to hit. I'm not going to use the 18 yet. Remember, this one has -4 damage, so it won't kill the guy anyway. And yeah, she definitely missed, right? Because even with +4, she would have been a 10, and she's on the 12 side. But then these go away. And let's do Threatening Arrow. So she would intimidate him and get +2 to hit, but we're just doing an 18 with +2 to hit from the elevation and everything. She easily gets him, which finishes him off. Don't we immediately stop when the last monster on the board dies? Read, scene, and then there was a door. Okay. Ooh, this one is purty. I remember this was in the original Drunagor, just from watching videos and stuff. Let's see what it says. A most unsuspicious laboratory. The door doesn't budge. Solid as stone, unmoved even under your full weight. The mechanism is sealed. As you struggle, Yarrick's words come back to you. There's another entrance, somewhere behind the garden. He clearly didn't expect this to be easy. Dwarves are known for their craft, especially their doors. These aren't meant to be forced. Either you know how to open the doors or you figure it out. Okay. So we got options. We can interact with one of these. So we can read the inscriptions around the frame. Seems like it might help us solve the puzzle. Turn the wheel half a turn clockwise. Turn the wheel half a turn counterclockwise. Try to lock the wheel. I don't know what that means. Give up and try to find the other entrance. Well, let's read the inscriptions first. You trace your fingers along the door's ornate etchings. Their true meaning emerges, dwarven runes woven into a hidden poem. A clue to opening the door, buried within another secret. All right, so we make a wisdom skill test with difficulty 15. How skill tests work is you roll a d20, and then you can exhaust your cubes, which I guess we just keep the cubes we currently had. So Penelope would have just recovered and gotten all of hers back, and gotten another curse because she used all of hers. And if we're successful, we proceed to 1.6. Otherwise, you may take 2 curse cubes to convert a failure into a success. I think we get all our curses back when we camp, so that seems fine. But let's go ahead and try it. So yeah, Penelope has more to exhaust. I think you get +4 if it's the correct stat. Here's a wisdom cube. And then, I don't know. Let's do 1, 2 of these. So that makes it +8. So we need a 7 or higher. That seems pretty reasonable. Yep. You decipher the dwarven inscription. The ruins speak of an age when the high dragon still walked the world, of dwarven legacy at its peak. Within the verses, you find what you are looking for. The mechanism is simple. Turn the wheel a full rotation clockwise, then lock it in place with the key. Okay, so turn the wheel half a turn clockwise. The heavy wheel turns easily. A finely crafted, well-built, well-maintained mechanism responds to your touch. Well-maintained, how? As it moves, hidden gears and chains answer with a low, strained creak. The counterweight pushes back, slowly forcing the wheel to its original position. So I guess I'll continue turning, right, because it was a full turn? The counterweight pulls harder with each turn. Muscles burn as you fight the resistance. I don't know if Penelope's good at muscles. I guess Hakeem's helping. The door isn't the only thing shaking anymore. Everything around you trembles with it. Holding against the pressure, that's the real test of strength. Mark the tensioned mechanism status on the campaign log. Okay, I'll pretend I did that. And then now I want to lock the wheel, right? Because that's what they said to do. As the grinding slows, you spot a black steel key next to the door, perfectly sized to lock the wheel, but with no keyhole in sight. Forged from metal, rumored to fall from stars, it's known to be unbreakable, the perfect lock. Still, the idea of locking it away for good makes you hesitate. Take the Black Steel Key adventure item, choose a resolution. Oh, I'll lose it if I lock the wheel. I'm going to do it anyway. An item like this is rare, and momentarily you hesitate. Still, a job is a job. You slide the key in until it disappears. A sharp final click echoes. Every other sound goes silent. The mechanism locks in place for good. Return the Black Seal Key. Oh yeah, I definitely got it. If the tensioned mechanism status is marked on the campaign log, proceed to resolution 1.11. Yeah. You've overcome the mechanism. The pressure vanishes in an instant, as if it had never been there. You draw a breath, exhausted. That was it. The key was the missing piece. With a soft shift, the door loosens in its frame, opening only enough to reveal a thin gap, barely the width of a finger. The hinges don't even protest the weight of the iron. At this point, even a child could push it open. All right, and then I read final scene, Skeletons in the Basement. I guess this is where we'll stop. The door opens without so much as a creak. The only sound that follows is the low growl of creatures advancing toward you. With no way back, the iron door shuts behind you with a sharp click, sealing the passage in darkness. You push forward into the unknown. Guided by the strong scent of oil, you reach a set of dim lanterns. Their feeble light reveals what stops you cold. Across the worn wooden floor, dried blood and thick, tar-like pools spread into shapes that almost resemble human forms. The adventure ends here. This path leads to Adventure 2.A, Skeletons in the Basement. Mark this outcome on the adventure track. Each hero learns one level 1 hero skill. Cool, I'll show you that in a second. And then tutorial. Okay, and then I get to do the camp board, which lets me remove all curse cubes and discard every condition token. Oh, so Hakeem's not poison anymore. I would get rid of chest cards. I thought I got to keep them between missions, but I guess not. And the curse cubes go away. If one of us had been fully defeated, like actually lost all our health, we would have gotten what's called a trauma cube. That does not go away when you rest, well, except for the next step, restoration step, where one hero can get rid of one trauma cube. But when that happens on your next turn, you come back up with full health, so you got to kind of die twice. But if more than one hero dies in a given mission, then you're not going to be able to get rid of all the trauma cubes. You'll be in a more precarious situation in the next scenario. Okay, then filling the campaign track. We go to our next adventure. Yeah, okay, that's just everything else is pretty basic. But let's talk through our level up options because these are fun. I believe whichever one you pick, you also get another cube of that color. So like if I get a melee, I would get a second yellow cube for Penelope. I think that's right. So Penelope's range one would be failure. Attack one target with +1 to hit. Oh, and then inflict brittle if you hurt them. Ooh, that's a nice one. Or for green, bet on luck. Prevent 4, sell. Prevent +6 if you discard a chest card. Well, that's right. She has ways to get chest cards. I never got any focus, but her one focus ability, Golden Touch, like Midas, does 2 damage. And if I defeat the enemy at any range, by the way, I get to draw a chest card. Pretty awesome. Okay, if you did the wisdom one, it would be an ongoing power. Second premonition. At the start of the round, roll 1 PD self. Whoa! You may deliver this dice to another hero immediately. Whoa. That's great. That's really great. So she would have 2 chances to get her like free hits or whatever. And then finally, the melee one is holistic healing. Heal 2 up to 3 targets. Now it is melee, so you'd have to be next to him. And I think, again, it can be herself, I'm pretty sure. So in 2-player, that one probably wouldn't be as exciting, but still pretty nice. How about Hakeem? For his ranged one, he could prevent 4 damage to 1 target. So that could be, again, I think himself or anybody within 1 tile, an ally. For his melee, Defying Strike. He gets the Defy token, that thing that makes him like the main target. And then he attacks 1 target with +2 hit and +3 damage. Yeah, we need plus damage. That's a great one. For agility, we've got Cross. Move 3 and choose to either defy or heal 1 with Reinforce, getting shields, and then deal 2 damage up to 2 targets adjacent to you. All that is pretty nice. And then finally, his blue is also an ongoing combat mastery. He may discard 2 shield tokens as 1 focus token. And 2 focus lets him prevent damage. But look at his 3 focus. He gets the Defy token, and then he attacks 1 target with +5 to hit and +5 damage. Ooh! And that gets even better when you level up next into these paths. Where is the one that's all about focus? Oh no, the Defy token. Look at this. Okay, so this one, if I get level 1, I get Shroud. Each prevent effect gets +1 prevent. So all of his armors would be +1. Crazy. But then level 2, when you receive the Defy effect, your next attack deals +4 damage. So all those skills I could get that get me a Defy, then the Devastating Blow that costs 3 focus would do +9 damage. Give me a break. Oh, and then if he gets to level 3, he would get another Sturdiness for +4 max. Oh, that's right. I was like, that's dumb. He can't get more than +4 max health. But I forgot, you can change your role in each camp phase. So if I didn't want to be defender anymore because I'd gotten this sturdiness upgrade and I didn't need that, I could switch him to be the striker or something else. So you have a lot of flexibility with your character session to session. And hey, so Penelope doesn't feel left out. Let's look at her manifestation path. So at level 1, whenever she rolls 1 or more PD, she can reroll one of them. Fantastic. And then both of these are level 2, so I could get them in either order. Promising Future says, as a free action, you can discard a PD to cleanse one at any range. That gets rid of curse cubes, that gets rid of poison or other status effects. For free, basically, and especially if you rolled like a bad roll for the prediction die, that's great. And then by a thread, as an interrupt, you can discard a PD to prevent 3, one target at any rate. That's great too. Woohoo! Yeah, so anyway, lots of cool things to level up. But what do I think of this one? As someone who has never played Drunagor before, I think this is a blast. I had heard, some people that really love this one. Some in our Discord said it was their favorite crawler ever, and I wasn't quite sure, but it is excellent. I think the cube system is really fun. The D20s can lead to you missing and being frustrated, but honestly, you have so much control with elevation and powers and things, and flipping your weapons. I don't think that was in the original game, but being able to kind of go to your more sure or more risky side for your weapon, I think it helps a lot. So yes, I have whiffed, but it's not that big of a deal. And heck, if you're playing somebody like the Striker class where you get a free reroll, or Penelope where you can use the premonition dice, like based on your character, you can really take out a lot of the luck. And the enemies are basically 0 luck. You can really position things carefully and make sure you have the right defenses to stop them. So yeah, I think the core combat mechanics are cool. I love how diverse the characters are. It did take me a little while to get used to like how the powers are written, but now I understand them pretty well. And yeah, you just get so many ways to level up because you're not only adding these things, but then you're flipping them to get a second. Here, let's see what like his super melee attack is. Disarming Swing. Attack 2 targets with +3 to hit, and Keen, that means you crit on a 16 plus instead of a 20. And if you hit, Intimidate 2. That's great. And yeah, there's a lot of these paths as well. And then you also get new weapons that have their own powers and things. I think the increased 3D nature of stuff works well because it actually matters. It affects how you move. It affects your chance to hit. When you compare it to... What was it? Descent Legends of the Dark. That's what I'm thinking of. That one had 3D terrain that I guess looked cooler, but it took so much longer to set up. This was very quick to set up the room once I kind of understood how things were laid out on the map. So yeah, I feel like the 3D is worth the time here. It reminds me, I think this is kind of the intent of what they did for Dante with like the columns and stuff. Although honestly, here I'll say I kind of like it a little bit better because it's just so quick and easy to run. And also in this one, if you throw a monster like with a push effect or telekinesis off of a high ledge and they fall 2 or more places, they take damage. Whereas in Dante, they didn't for most of the bosses, which just seemed like a missed opportunity immediately, right? And yeah, these little interaction things seem fun. The narrative, I can't really tell how good it's going to be yet, but it seems pretty interesting. And although I didn't show it in this video, the one-off mode works great. Here's how it works. As you gain experience, you get 1 for killing each monster, and then also there are experience tokens to pick up. You slide this thing along. Whenever you reach one of these spots, you have to go further with more players because you're going to be defeating more monsters. You get one of your level up skills, like I just got from that mission. And then here I would get 2 of these, like I was talking about. Here I'd get new weapons, and then more cubes, I guess. I'm not sure what that one is. So you're just leveling up in a very consistent way as you play. And then also the enemies level up. Whenever you go to a new row, suddenly all the white enemies, like this javelin thrower, would now be their fighter side. So the enemies level up, you level up, and work pretty slickly. The only thing that I wasn't quite sure about is the minion spawning rules, because they have these minions that you can kill in a single attack, like they'll have a 3 or 4 defense value, and if you do at least that damage, they're dead. You don't actually keep track of anything. But they keep on coming out, and it wasn't clear to me in the TTS teach, like where they came out and which spawn points were active and how you kind of decide that, and that's not, again, in the Learn to Play rulebook that I have. So I'm not 100% sure how this will work, and also I will say... just as a small concern, but when we got to the boss in the one-shot mode, it was kind of tankier than I prefer. Like, it had like 70 life, and we just hit it over and over. I mean, it was still fun. We were trying to survive its attacks, but eventually, like, the tactical position didn't matter that much. We were just kind of staying in the same spot and hitting him in the same way. So that was the only part that wasn't too exciting to me. The boss combat didn't seem as dynamic as I've seen in some other crawling games. Really, that's a minor complaint. I don't tend to love campaign crawlers these days, but this one is a lot of fun. I like the core mechanics. I like the leveling up. I really appreciate that they have this new one-shot mode. I think that's great. The core campaign seems good. I mean, honestly, the biggest praise I can give this is that I would play it more. And with me really not having the time to do campaign games like this, that is pretty high praise. So yeah, I'm not sure if this video is going up when the crowdfunding campaign is live or a week or two before, but I would definitely check it out. If you're a fan of Drunagor, it seems like the new stuff is pretty cool with the one-shot mode and stuff and the flippable weapons and things. And if you've never played Drunagor before, again, neither have I, but from what I've seen, it's a really solid, fun, classic dungeon crawling system, so I would definitely check it out. Thanks everybody for watching, and a special thank you to our biggest Patreon supporters, Dan, J. William F., Steve Wren, Casey W., Andrew R., and Chris C. We'll see you at the next stop.